my Super Sandwiches? Rhymestyle here, and today we're bringing another Dragon Ball Super Talk in regards to episode 129 of the series. And I gotta say, that fight was hype. I don't care about the one critique I'm gonna bring up here. For the most part, it was still hype. It was still incredible. But you know, again, I like to kind of toss out critiques here and there because I don't consider these reviews. Again, I kind of want to point that out, that I don't review Dragon Ball Super episodes. What I like to do is, again, I just watch the episode, I turn the camera on, I spit my own thoughts, my own feedback, my own opinion on what I thought, what was going through my mind as I watched the episodes, and then I want to hear from you guys as well in the comment section below. What you thought? What was like going through your mind as you watch the episodes? So as always, feel free to let me know down below what you thought. Now, the one critique that I want to point out this time is, which I don't usually do, is I don't like the fact that they reuse a lot of animation in this episode. And the reason why is, while it made sense, it fit, I barely even noticed. In fact, do you guys even notice when animation is reused? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Is that like a big deal for you guys or not? Feel free to discuss down below. For me, it's not usually. But the reason why I think it's a little bit more important to point this out this time is because Dragon Ball Super is ending. We are literally in the Dragon Ball Super finale month. Like, we have 3 more episodes left, or like 3 or 4, something like that. I think it ends on like 132, and this is 129. So yeah, we're about 3 episodes left. And we're watching scenes, basically, that we already seen in other episodes, like when he fought against Catfly, the generic back and forth between Goku and Jiren. We've seen that already. Now, I also understand what they were going for. In this episode specifically, you know, what they like to do is they like to focus on the storytelling, like, oh, what's happening, like, oh, you think Goku's up, but in all reality, he actually has a lot more. Don't underestimate the Saints, like how Vegeta was bringing up. I understand what they were going for, but at the same time, come on, Toei! The series is ending! You could at least give us, like, brand new, refreshing animation and all that stuff. I almost said cutscenes because I've been playing Xenoverse the past, like, 3 days. You can at least give us refreshing animation to kind of, like, close out the series. I mean, I'm gonna tell you right now, nobody out there will be complaining about that. What people would complain about, though, is if you reuse animation. I mean, not for the most part. I mean, it's gonna vary from person to person. Again, how they did it in this episode, it makes sense, but at the same time, it's still something that I don't really want to see. Now, everything else, absolutely incredible. Now, looking at the episode, how it was set up, it was exactly how any anime, specifically how Dragon Ball Super or the Dragon Ball series has done it before. Last week, we saw that the white-haired form of Goku was going to make an appearance, and as expected, it's one of those things that pops up at the very end of the episode. So basically, they kind of add like a way to fill the entire episode and then go on to bang in the end. That's exactly what they did. So, again, to kind of break down what Ultra Instinct is, because the biggest critique that people are giving Goku right now is how is he doing this? How is he mastering a brain transformation and ability all within like 48 minutes? Well, the answer to that is it's not that he really mastered it. The thing that we saw up until this point is not Ultra Instinct. What we basically saw was a small glimpse of it. And to show you how much of a glimpse and how different what we saw with Goku's Ultra Instinct before versus what we saw at the end of this episode, it's a drastic difference. I mean, let's look at it this way. So when Goku achieved Ultra Instinct the first 2 times, he had enough power to overcome his opponents. Granted, against Jiren initially, he did end up losing power. He didn't get control of it. Again, the problem with his ability to tap into Ultra Instinct and to kind of use it the correct way is he thinks. And when he thinks, it kind of disrupts the flow. It's like you're supposed to kind of like surrender yourself. God, my hair is so annoying right now because it's too short. You have to kind of surrender yourself to Ultra Instinct and like basically trust your body to do what's supposed to do. And that's something that Goku has been doing. And because of that, every time he kind of like attacked and struck back and did X, Y, and Z, he didn't like deliver, as they said, definitive strikes. He would hit Jiren, but it was never enough to like do anything crazy to as far as damage to him and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, oh, well, it's fine, you hit me once or twice, but guess what? I still have a lot of HP. That's basically Jiren. Now, what happened now is Goku actually tapped into the actual Ultra Instinct. He built up a bunch of heat, which I still don't understand what the heat actually means. If you guys have any way to explain your own, I guess, breakdown what you see the heat as, let me know in the comment section below. But for me right now, I still don't quite get it. I just assume it's just energy. It's kind of like he's building up the power. It's like friction is said, creating a bunch of energy and heat, and then he absorbs it. So when we saw him basically almost go down at the end of this episode, and he absorbed all the heat, he really busted out the Ultra Instinct. Now again, now it's actually about look at Ultra Instinct and what the power difference is between what we saw before and right now. This man Jiren literally powered all the way up. Well, I don't want to say all the way, but he really tapped into his power. He even said, you gave me a response. Well, you showed me what you got. Let me respond. And he powered up that blast, and he shot at Goku. And what did Goku do? This man flew by, caught it, and just crushed it. That is a different Goku than we saw literally 30 seconds ago. Now, last week, the biggest critique I had for myself, looking at this episode is what the hell is Goku going to do to actually surpass Jiren and kind of like get on the same playing field as him? Because even though this man had used Ultra Instinct Omen, is what they called the ability before, he was still never close to like even maybe even half of Jiren's power. Well, I don't want to say, half because I don't really know, to be honest, because it's really tough to tell how strong Goku is compared to Jiren. But it was pretty obvious that even with the previous Ultra Instinct, it was nowhere near Jiren's max power, especially when we saw the max ability or max power come out a couple weeks ago when he actually really tapped into it. It was nowhere close. So it's like, I was wondering, well, how is this man going to actually surpass him? And the answer to that is what we saw with Ultra Instinct was literally a small percentage, a small glimpse of this man's power. So now it makes more sense, okay? So it's like, the actual Ultra Instinct is like, way stronger than what we saw so far. Like think about it this way. Ultra Instinct is so powerful that even barely tapping into it is like, you're getting a massive power boost. And that's what we saw so far. So that shows you. Now the question, of course, is well, it still doesn't explain how does this man tap into it. And to be honest, we have no answer other than the fact that Goku is built to break limits. Even when we have the quick dialogue between Vegeta and Belmont, which I love, by the way, because he mentions you underestimated the Saiyans. We've seen Gohan, Gohan surpasses limits, even though there really wasn't that much to surpass. But he did surpass his limits compared to how he used to fight. He did actually get to some new level when he got his victory. And we saw Caulifla and Kale and Kefla surpass their limits. Kaiway surpassed their limits. Even Vegeta surpassed his limits when he went beyond Blue. Every Saiyan in this tournament surpassed the limits, which is awesome. So it's you know what? Goku's next, Belmont. You ain't got nothing on my boy Goku. So I like the fact that once again we see the Vegeta kind of breaking down his own opinion of Goku and the support. I love that because it reminded me of when he gave I don't want to say he gave up, but he accepted that Goku was stronger than him in the Buu arc. I know a lot of people aren't exactly happy about that, especially the Vegeta fans, but I like how the scene was specifically in here because it's you know what? Don't underestimate Goku. He's going to surpass it. So again, it's one of those things that just built into Goku's character, his plot armor in a way. He is built to surpass and break limits. He is a Superman of anime. He just breaks limits. He always gets stronger and stronger. And it's funny because I was telling myself, I don't see where Dragon Ball can go next after Super ends. If they bring, Dragon Ball Super Plus or Dragon Ball Super or Dragon Ball Ultra, whatever they decide to do next in, in a couple years, whenever they decide to bring the series back, it's I ask myself, well, what's next? Because literally right now you have two of the strongest mortals, keyword mortals, literally stronger than the gods, going at it. Where do you go after that? And honestly, I don't really know. But again, knowing Goku's character, I'm sure he's going to figure out a way to get stronger and stronger if they ever decide to bring the series back. Which is probably why they're ending Super, let's be real. Super is ending because they got to the point where they surpassed the gods in a way. At this point, honestly, with this version of Goku, I'm sure he has actually surpassed Beerus on his own. Which is wow, because that's something that I never thought I would say personally. Before the debate was Vegito Blue versus Beerus, but now here's me talking about actual, Goku on his own with Ultra Instinct versus Beerus, and honestly, I think he's got to the point where he has potential to surpass Beerus. But again, for all we know, there might be plot armor for Beerus as well, and if they ever decide to go on in one last fight, Beerus himself will bust out Ultra Instinct, and then we'll have an actual fight that's going to be similar to what we're watching right now between Goku and Jiren. But again, that's another discussion for another time. But for right now, the true power of Ultra Instinct is a lot wilder than any of us imagined, and it now makes a lot more sense. Now, again, the question is do you accept the fact that he kind of achieved it that fast? But again, it's not that he mastered it or was learning it. You have to remember that Whis literally was teaching both Goku and Vegeta how to achieve Ultra Instinct for the past entirety of the series, actually. I mean, the first time that we saw Resurrection F, before Super even came out, he was teaching them how to basically act before thinking. And that's exactly what Ultra Instinct is. So it's not the fact that he mastered it over the course of 40-something, 20 minutes. It's literally something he's been trying to learn for the past, 2 or 3 years, 4 years, whatever the time limit is in Super, that many years. And now we're actually seeing the fruits of the labor come out when he really taps into it, when he's cornered, he breaks his shell, and he busts out the Ultra Instinct. So that's kind of how that makes sense to me, in my head at least. But obviously, everyone's going to have different opinions on that, so let's feel free to let me know your thoughts down below on how you feel about the fact that he busted out Ultra Instinct that fast. But yeah, it's pretty much everything. I mean, I love the fact that they're still what's the word? Denying logic, denying physics. This man was literally on a tiny floating rock getting beaten down by Jiren, and that rock didn't collapse. I don't know. I mean, granted, you could also argue that maybe he was protecting it, but it's why is the rock floating in the first place? Just let these guys fly. Why can't Zeno just be hey, you know what? Just fly. Just go ahead and fly. That way us viewers can be okay, well, this makes sense. But literally when flight is not allowed. And even in this episode, you see both Goku and Jiren actually falling. They're not flying still. They're basically just jumping really, really fast. And they're fighting so fast that it's in between that it looks like it's flying. It's not actual flight. They should just be you know what? Just fly. Just fly. Give us a finale. That way the viewers at home can stop being annoyed trying to figure out how logic makes sense here with these floating rocks or whatever. But Yeah. With that said, next week's looks actually intense. I don't know if Jiren himself busts out Ultra Instinct or what that was, but he had like a similar aura that Goku had. Now, I'm hoping that what that was is just basically Jiren's full power. Reminds me of Toguro. Like, this man literally is Toguro at this point. If you guys watch Yu Yu Hakusho, you know what, let me not talk about that in case some of you guys haven't, because I found out last week that not that many people around me have apparently seen Yu Yu Hakusho. If you have not watched Yu Yu Hakusho, please go watch it. But to those who have seen it, and you know, you understand the Toguro reference, tell me I'm wrong. He's literally Toguro. So next week, we see him actually shirtless, going toe-to-toe with Goku in what seems to be the last fight. If Super's ending on like episode 132, that means next week and the week after that will be basically the finale of this tournament. And then we'll probably get like one more episode that closes out the series. But we're to a point now where it's do or die, and this man is busting out all his own power. So it's like we're gonna see these two warriors go at it at equal power, equal abilities, and hopefully not Ultra Instinct Jiren, because that's not something I would love to see. I want Ultra Instinct to be a thing for Goku only at this point. I mean, later I would love to see other characters again like Vegeta, but for this situation, I don't want Jiren to be all, you know what? I got Ultra Instinct as well, because the man was already so powerful, and if he had his own version of Ultra Instinct that he could tap into as well, it wouldn't really make that much sense. But then again, I mean, end of the day, Goku's going to surpass his limits. So if that even does happen, I'm sure he's going to surpass his limits again even more, because that's what Goku does best. So yeah, feel free to discuss everything down below. I'm pretty sure I missed a lot. Again, I don't really see these videos as reviews, more just talks. I watched the episode, I turn the camera on, I talk my own thoughts and feedback, my opinion on the episode, and I want to hear from you guys as well. So with that said, let me know your thoughts down below. What you thought about 129 or Dragon Ball Super. And with that said, also thumbs up. 5,000 likes. If you made it to the end of this video, I want you guys to get to 5,000 likes in this video as well, just because that finale was hype. Despite the reused animation, it was pretty hype, and seeing Goku literally just flash by, grab this man's energy and crush it, whew, the satisfaction with that. So with that said, let me know everything that we discussed down below, and we'll take over there. My name is Rhymestyle. Hope you guys enjoyed today, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.